Hey guys, Super Crazy Pavel here, and welcome to the first episode of Kaiju-a-thon. Yes, Kaiju-a-thon. You might be asking right now on this video, because you're reading the title, why am I not reviewing this one first instead of King Kong? I mean, why am I reviewing King Kong instead of this one? Mostly because that if it wasn't for King Kong, the entire kaiju genre wouldn't exist. I hope you heard my voice that time, because I sure did. Now, anyway, without further ado, I have to tell you guys something. We are starting the kaiju-a-thon with King Kong. So yeah, sit back, enjoy the popcorn, enjoy the food, whatever, and we're going to review King Kong. Okay, King Kong. So King Kong came out in 1933. It's a classic, of course. Everybody knows about King Kong. King Kong it was directed by MC Cooper, which was pretty much a real-life Indiana Jones, in the words of Big Jack Films. Go subscribe to him. He's working on a King Kong fan film, and it looks great. And also, MC Cooper lived in danger and went on adventures straight from Indiana Jones. So yeah, MC Cooper had a great life, and he read stories about an ape and kidnapping women and killing the men, which brings the Beauty and the Beast in his mind, and then he decided to make a film called King Kong based off that film, based off his idea. So yeah, and he hired Willis O'Brien, which at the time was working on a sequel to The Lost World, which was called Creation, but the project was failing and he was having a hard time, so it had to be canceled. But it was replaced, and then he had a project and he started working on King Kong, which I'll tell you this, the animation's pretty good. So yeah, without further ado, let's actually dive into the plot. I mean, the characters. We have Carl Denham, which to me is the main character, he's a director, and he's filming and making a movie and on Skull Island, and he does anything that he can to get his movie done, but he at least cares about the safety of others. He's not completely selfish. He has a little bit of selfish in him, but he's not 100% selfish. And then we have the other character, the Beauty of the Beast Trinity, which I forgot the name of. Anyway, I only know Carl Denham's name. Everybody else I just don't care about. But the girl was a pretty good actor, I'll tell you that. And the rest of the cast is bland, so I'm not going to bring them up. Let's get to the plot. I mean, the effects. You have King Kong, which is pretty good effects. You have stop motion, and he was also used as an animatronic, with an animatronic head, animatronic foot, and animatronic hand. I believe the animatronic hand was in there. And then you also have the dinosaurs in Skull Island. You have yourself a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and a brontosaurus or a brachiosaurus. I don't know if it was a brontosaurus or a brachiosaurus, but it is a long neck. And then you have a stegosaurus, pterodons, I believe, the pterodactyls, I think, were in there, and a plesiosaur, and about a million other dinosaurs that weren't shown in the film. And then, and now let's get to the plot. Carl Denham, he wants to make a movie. He hires the girl, and which is to make a film, so they set out on a ship and just go straight all the way to you know what it's called. Well, actually, it didn't really have a name. I don't think it had a name in the first one. I think in the first one it didn't have. I think it was just called the island. Was it ever called Skull Island? If it was, then okay, then I need to rewatch it again since yesterday. But I didn't hear him say Skull Island. But either way, they head their booties all the way to Skull Island and end up learning that there are natives there, which worship a giant overgrown god. So they take the girl and use her as a sacrifice. And of course, that god is a giant overgrown ape named King Kong. So yeah, King Kong's first appearance is a great scene, and it's awesome of how he looks. He just grabs the girl, goes in the forest, and then, of course, the ship's men are on a journey to save her. They end up bumping into his footprint of King Kong, and then they bump into a Stegosaurus. They take the Stegosaurus down. Well, doesn't really kill it, but it's still alive, but it's really wounded, so it can't fight. So most likely it's going to die like 30 minutes after the film. So, and then they go on a journey, blah, blah, blah. I think they end up bumping into a Brachiosaurus. A few of them get eaten, I think 2 of them. And the girl gets attacked by a Tyrannosaurus Rex, but Kong saves her, and you commence the most epic battle. Oh, that film is so epic. Also recreated by Peter Jackson with 3 T-Rexes versus King Kong. I don't know which one I like more. Both of them are awesome. But the original shows who's the king of the jungle. And of course, you have the beat 'em, fights, bam, wham, boom. And then you also have the King Kong just ripping that jaw open, whoo, and then he plays with it, and then he just beats his chest like, whoa, and that is not what King Kong sounds like. And then you have yeah, and then we get back to the shipmates and all that, and they end up bumping into King Kong, but then where they're on a giant tree log, and you know how this turns out. Most of the crew fall off the log. But there was a missing scene, and you know what that missing scene was? The missing spider pit scene, where they get attacked by spiders and all that. Peter Jackson recreated it, and I'll tell you this, it's a pretty darn good recreation in my opinion. Stop motion. Ooh, yeah. You can smush that scene in the film, and you would believe that's a part of the film. And then there are people. And then, of course, you guys also have and then King Kong ends up bumping into a plesiosaur, which he kills by breaking the neck, I believe. And yeah, and then but they do end up saving the girl, the shipmates, and how they end up saving the girl is by okay, and also, sorry for zoning off. Also, one more thing I would have to say is that
we're gonna find out.
Anyway, so they end up reviewing. They end up bumping into pterodactyls, which distracts King Kong, and they end up saving the girl, and of course they capture King Kong and take him to New York City, which he ends up breaking free of his chains and makes a rampage in New York. And of course he ends up going and climbing the Empire State Building with the girl in his hands once again, and then he gets shot down by a fall down, and then it's a sad ending with Carl Denham saying another awesome line. The end. Is it a 5 out of 5? No. To me, it's more like 4.5 out of 5. Mostly because there's a few nitpicks. Most of the characters are bland. The girl screams way too much. And yeah, other than that, it's a good film. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, see you guys in the next video of Kaiju-a-thon, where we review the true first kaiju film. Adios, amigos.